seems that the current county councillor for Ashford South seems to be a dead weight in the chair. Isn't answering residents' questions, doesn't want to do anything, and just wants to be the elected representative, but doesn't represent. Now, whilst you've been out on the campaign, what are the issues that you found that are affecting your residents, and if elected, what will you do to tackle them?
I mean, looking around, obviously the obvious one, you've got roads, everyone has to use them, whether you're cycling in a car, or a bus, taxi, pavements, those areas you can, some of the wards, they've been like that since, they haven't changed. Some elements around Clockhouse that goes on off Brookfield Road, side roads I've seen round off Beaver. Obviously I'd reported the one by Matalan, but one of the other Conservative candidates I'd already reported because it was just chunks in the road. I cycle. I've seen, obviously, little subtle things. They just don't know. Obviously, they just see a councillor, so they don't know that, that's a responsibility for the ward councillor for Ashford, not the county council. But you have to liaise with, if it's not your issue, you work to get that issue with whoever the party is. I don't really, whatever borough it is, if it's, Conservative or if it's another party, you work with, because the common goal is to sort for this resident out. Some about education, and obviously I've spoken to a few parents, and it's harder because obviously with all the COVID going on, and it's, so it's when you do manage to speak to someone or they've got children, what school they go to. Some, obviously the budget comes off KCC, but there's not enough school governors, or the ones that are on there, the credibility is... It's the detail. I was a school governor when I was in London. Obviously, you have Ofsted reports. It's been lesser because of the COVID, but there are issues on there, and nothing. You can look at the reports. Some issues have not been tackled, and it's simple things of reading the report to think, actually, that's a simple win. So actually, to change a school from good to very good or okay, no one wants an okay in education. They want at least a good standard. And I've seen, to do with parks, and it's just simple things, because it's not just one issue, it's your whole ward, and some it's the responsibility of the council, but they've almost given up talking. They don't see him, don't hear from him, emails, and I've had quite a lot of emails and quite a lot of calls, and obviously talking to people about, they only hear from someone when, they can tell when an election's coming, because all of a sudden a leaflet comes through. You've got to be visible, and it's, you can't be every place, but you should be able to be going around and working on a different approach. Mine is from a service background. Obviously, you treat every resident as a customer, as it were, and report things as a structure, an outcome. Has it been fixed? Has it not been done? Can it be done? So you run it as a very business-like, because it has to be professional and coordinated to look at, is this issue happening just in this ward, or is it every ward? Because, it's the subtle changes that people want, that actually it gets done, or there's a response back to, it's a respect. They bother to call you, they bother to email you, at least have the dignity to respond even within 48, 72 hours, not never, or weeks, and that's not nice. And people then give up because they look at their representative and think, they don't give up, and then everyone's tarnished with the same brush. And we've got across the borough some very good that do get involved, and for me that's the way you do it. I've seen issues, and I've got a whole list of areas I've noted down as I've walked around every street, driven around, cycled around, that I've already some reported, and some I've been talking. I've got a resident I'm seeing later this afternoon regarding parking. It's not my remit, but I've got the ward councillor for that area coming along with me, so we can have a discussion and what we can do, but we work together. So that's what you offer. I offer is I will look at whatever the route is to get the result. So I may have to tippy toes onto people. Some it's going to be quite blunt chat, but to do something you need to be honest and true, not just have it for the title and take the expenses and actually deliver nothing. That's not what people pay for. They pay for you to be their representative because they thought you were the decent person, and just because it's a ward that was another particular party, you don't own it. We've seen obviously wards of MPs across from the 29 election. Things have changed since the Brexit vote, and I think it's smashed open completely wide. No one owns someone. No one owns thinking that they've always voted this party. You have to show that you are sensible, true, don't just take for granted that, my gran voted this party, my brother voted this party, my dad voted this party. It's not, you have to vote what's right for you, not just because that's what you've always done, like an autopilot. You have to vote which is the best candidate. I'm happy to talk to anyone, any place. It doesn't, I'm not afraid to talk and to communicate.
Yeah.